Hello, it's Ben from Alternate Experiences here. So I want to give you an idea of some of the factors that you should consider when thinking about what team building activity is right for you and your circumstances. So the first thing to think about is, of course, group size. So if you've got a particularly large group, are you looking at activities that work well for larger groups? Now, there's lots of activities where, yes, maybe they could theoretically run for your group size, but do they work well for your group size? We have certain activities that we put on in certain games where some of them we cap the numbers at quite a low amount because we know that beyond that point, it just doesn't flow as well and it reduces the quality of the experience. Whereas we've got some where they work really well for larger groups, but actually don't work that well for smaller groups. And so they're quite specifically targeted at those situations. So it's just something to think about. Next thing you want to consider is what activity type. Is it puzzle based that you're looking for, or a challenge type activity? Is it learning based? What kind of feel do you want to the activity? Think about the group of people that are going to be participating. What kind of thing would they be receptive to? Yes, of course, there'll be variations, but you should know the group a little bit to get a feel of, yeah, I think this is the right kind of activity, the right kind of personality to that activity that we're looking for. And of course, do you want something that can be personalized in some way? And can that activity accommodate that? Next thing you want to think about is the technology of that activity. Is it quite high tech or is it quite low tech? What will your group work well with? So in particular, sometimes I see people pick activities where there's quite a lot of tech involved, and that can still be quite a low bar. And they have a group where maybe that's just not a good fit for them. They're not so used to the tech and it doesn't flow very well. So just make sure you're picking an activity where you feel the level of tech matches what you're running, particularly important for virtual events, but for all team building events, to be honest. And then final thing to consider is, does personalization and customization matter to you? I always say the kind of activities where I think it adds value is particularly those big important bookings. Say it's a big conference or something like that, or your annual kickoff. I think there's real value to be had in those kind of personalizations and customizations to make that activity really mean something and work well for your specific audience. So think about, can the activity accommodate that if you need it? How can it accommodate that? And how can it do it beyond just including your logo? I mean, like real meaningful personalization here. Can certain puzzles be amended to incorporate certain skills that you want to teach? Or say you're launching a new strategy, how can that be weaved in? So those are the things that I would consider in personalization. So those are some of the key factors that I would think about when thinking what type of team building activity is right for you.